imaginary ladder.
Jimmy Graham, a one-handed catch.
Welcome back, Mark Ingram.
Mike Evans has got it.
Breaking tackles. He's amazing.
He's to the 10, to the 5, touchdown Giants.
He's got Golden Tate who makes the catch inside the 15, inside the 10, and he's breaking away. This game is over.
Hi and hello, football fans. Welcome to NFL Week 10. Welcome to NFL Pick'em. By the end of this half hour, you will know all the winners of the upcoming Week 10 games, thanks to Around the NFL, represented here by Greg Rosenthal, the boss, Bucky Brooks of Move the Sticks podcast, and the Dave Dameshek football program. Fellas, yeah, it is kind of like that.
Like
yeah,
Bucky.
Well, it is in a way, and we'll tell you why in just a second. Right now, though, Rosenthal, tell us, you can only watch one of the upcoming games. Which ones would it be?
How do you not choose the Patriots and Seahawks? Best Super Bowl ever, best two teams of the last 5 years. Pats get lucky facing the Seahawks without Michael Bennett.
True that. Bucky, how say you?
How about the Battle of the Birds? The Atlanta Falcons versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Atlanta's playing lights out on offense. Their defense is coming on like game busters. This is another statement win. They win this, we now have to really begin to talk about them being a heavyweight in the NFC.
Yeah, great games upcoming, but I'll take the one between the Cowboys and Steelers. You mentioned the best Super Bowl ever, the most plentiful Super Bowl matchup ever, Dallas and Pittsburgh. That's where I'll go. Real quick, let's take a look back at Week 9. Why is it like a game show? Because here internally, whichever podcast does the best in the preceding week gets the coveted first segment to pick that batch of games. Who won last week? Well, the Dave Dameshek football program, of course. 76.9, led by the host of that show. He went 11-1. Speaking of whom, let's get it over to Studio 66 right now. The Dave Dameshek football program. Take it away, Dave.
Hey, thank you, Dave. Keep up the great work. All right, here in Studio 66, a big Week 10 awaits. Let's get to it. The Red Challenge flag picks.
Red Challenge flag picks.
Yeah.
Oh, nice little addition there, Ike Taylor.
Vocal freestyle.
Take a look there. The NFC playoff picture coming into focus with each passing week. Big Week 10 gaggle of games to review here. And guess who's going to win? We'll start off with you, Cynthia Freeland. I am a gentleman. The Dallas Cowboys, the number 1 seed right now. Big test for them, I suspect, going up to Heinz Field. Steelers, Cowboys, choose.
Despite some missing pieces to the Cowboys' defense, I think they take the road victory.
All right, Handsome Hank. Ike Taylor. Yeah, two flags.
But it's difficult.
The
Steelers fans and Steelers players are throwing flags at you. Cinder, I'm with you. The Cowboys are going to win this.
Why so, Handsome?
Because I think they're on a roll. This is a team that is on a roll, and the Steelers are mistakenly still favored to win the AFC North. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
First of all, for the record, to disabuse you and hopefully you of any sort of homerism here, Ike and I both told you that the Ravens were going to.
So why do you think they're going to beat the Cowboys, who've been the class of the NFC?
I'll let number 24 tell you why.
Because, Handsome Hank, they're at home. So they average 28 points at home. They average 17 points on the road. Le'Veon Bell begins to be that beast, that monster when he's at home. Ben is unstoppable when he's at home. The defense kind of crank it up when they're at home. So if they was on the road and playing in Dallas, I would have said Dallas. But since they're on the road, since they're at home, I'm going with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They just play a totally different ball game when they're sitting at Heinz Field.
It is crazy that is, in fact, true. The Steelers, we know about under Mike Tomlin that they are not a very good team, especially when they play inexplicably teams under 500. But coming back home, now about the Cowboys, their best win, what is it really? At home against the Bengals? Against D.C.? I mean, really, what are we circling here? This is probably their biggest test of the year, and they're going in to play a Steelers team that really needs this one.
I just think that overtime win against Philly showed that they had the guts and Ezekiel Elliott's ability to help, and that O-line, I don't know, to me, I'm not changing my pick, sorry.
It is crazy, but okay, we have
2-2, split.
Here, 2-2. Let's move on to the New York Football Giants, who still have a real shot here at this division. I say beware of them in the second half of the season. Ike Taylor, Bengals, Giants, choose.
At home, I got the New York Giants. I think they finally figuring it out.
Whoa. That's not the rule here. Now we contest this. Now let's see who wants to throw the flag.
Well, excuse me, Ivan.
I'm not contesting. I'm not contesting anything with that. I believe it.
I'd like to throw it because it's more fun, but
you think the Bengals?
Yeah, even though I'm mad at Ben McAdoo for saying stats are for losers.
I I'm going to eat it
throw it at
too.
me.
I'll take the Giants at home. All right, moving on. Falcons v. Eagles here. Now this is a juicy one again.
Flying creatures
NFC
everywhere.
Playoff chase here. The Eagles, if they want to be in that mix, this is a game that they kind of need to win at home here. Handsome Hank.
Yeah, I don't think they can keep up with the Falcons.
Okay, anybody want to throw the flag here? Go ahead, Ike. There you
Really?
go, fella. That was a meek throw.
It
but
was
all
a meek
right.
throw. Try again.
I just thought like
Okay. He doesn't really believe it.
You know
That's
what?
what it tells me.
I'm going to go with Ike too. I'm going to take.
wow, that was rude.
I'm going to take the Eagles. I'm going to take
Okay.
the Eagles here. I like that defense.
You guys be wrong again together.
Okay. Any reason, Ike, for your pick here?
So the Falcons defense are 30th in passing yards in the NFL. They're ranked number 8th or 6th in rushing because nobody wants to run the ball. They just pass the ball on them all day. Matty Ice in the offense has been playing spectacular. I think the OC finally figured it out in getting him started for the whole season. It's just, I feel like it's going to be a shootout. In a shootout at home, I'm going to take Carson Wentz.
It's not spectacular. It's spectacular. I love it. Freeland, any thoughts from you?
I think the Atlanta defense is getting better every
Right.
game. I really like Keanu Neal. He's been a great addition.
True.
I think you'd probably like him too. And for me, I don't think that Carson Wentz can overcome the kind of offense that Atlanta's going to put against them. I don't think he can match those points.
They're ranked number 30th in passing defense. They're like 28th total.
Correct.
Of course, they can get better when you're all the way down at the bottom.
And let's round out our games here. Vikings, Redskins. Cynthia Freeland, choose.
Oh.
Washington.
Ooh, this is a fascinating game.
Put down the weapons.
This is a tough one to pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll stay with DC too. Why so, Freeland?
Well, I just think there's a lot of confusion going on with that Vikings offense. I think their defense is still good. In fact, I actually think their offense could be potentially ruining a championship caliber defense in this case. I don't think they get it together against Washington, Josh Norman. I just don't think.
It shows how far they've fallen over the last few weeks.
But their defense is still really good. I don't want people to think they're not.
Right.
I do
Wasted
agree with that,
Great
yes.
defense.
I think we're just putting too much pressure. I mean, I think the Vikings just putting too much pressure on the Vikings defense. You know, their defense has been banged up. These guys, man, you got a few key guys sitting out. You're just putting a lot of load. They're overplaying their defense.
Where art thou, Norv? I don't know. Maybe he could have righted this ship.
I think somebody
It's long
probably
gone.
squid it.
All right, make sure you check out the Dave Damashek football program streaming live at 5 p.m. every Tuesday and Thursday. Otherwise, track it down, NFL.com/podcast or iTunes. Don't go away because we're just getting started here on NFL Pick'em. Still to come, Football Baby back again with his lock of the week.
Rams, Jets, choose.
And coming up next, the crew from around the NFL breaks down the AFC playoff picture and predicts who will take a step closer to the postseason this weekend.
Okay, football baby. Rams, Jets, choose. The Jets win.
So football baby, picking the Jets in this one. How about it?
I mean, I guess it takes, a being under the age of, 1.5 to 2 to still support the New York Jets at this point.
Wow.
So, welcome to the ATN portion of the program. Mark Sessler, Chris Wessling, Colleen Wolfe, Greg Rosenthal. We're going to pick some games here, but first we got to check out the AFC playoff picture as it stands right now. We have a couple games in the conference that we're going to be checking out and talking about for you guys. So, you have two teams with 7 wins. Can't believe the Raiders are still up there. And the Chiefs and the Broncos.
Not going to be as easy to make the playoffs in the AFC. I think some low-level teams in the NFC can get through, not in the AFC.
Look at all the teams in the hunt. A lot of teams with only 4 wins. But those teams, not the Seahawks or the Patriots, and those two teams facing off this week in Foxborough. Russell Wilson, he didn't really look as good as he looked actually better last week than he did before. So, Mark, what do you expect from him this week?
Well, I like that we're finally getting some primetime games that get the juices flowing. And this matchup is fascinating because if you watch what's happened with Jimmy Graham over the past month in Seattle, the fact that we are going to get 2 defenses that have allowed a combined 2 touchdowns all year to tight ends, now you're getting Jimmy Graham, Rob Gronkowski, and Martellus Bennett. I think these 3 players could decide the way this game goes.
And when you think back to the Super Bowl that we watched, I think the best Super Bowl ever. And you look at Tom Brady this year, and you think he is a different quarterback this year than he was then. He's better right now. His footwork is better. His speed is better. It sounds weird to say, but he's rushing for more than ever, and he's going deep more than ever. 9 of 15 on passes over 20 yards.
More quarterbacks should take the first month of the year off.
Yeah,
well, everybody should. Everybody should
Everyone.
get a month-long vacation, and they will perform way better.
It wasn't his choice, really, to sit out.
It's crazy to think the Patriots' offense can get better. Mike Garafolo said that Deion Lewis has looked nasty in practice this week. All the Patriots players are excited about him. Julian Edelman didn't play as well in the first half of the season as he's capable of. Martellus Bennett has been nursing an injury. This offense can take off and score 40 points a game.
It's the opposite of last year where they lost Gronkowski for parts of the year. They lost Deion Lewis. Everything got stripped away. Now it's November and it's all coming back.
Yeah, no Michael Bennett, too, so that's good for their ground game. Who are you guys picking in this game?
Oh, it's New England at home. I'm going Patriots.
Patriots.
I'm going to go Seahawks. Why not?
It'd be different.
This game makes me think of Malcolm Butler. That play. Think of what Malcolm Butler has done since then. He has become a top 10 cornerback. Back then, we didn't even know him. Patriots.
Appeared on this podcast, too, by the way.
That's true. A friend of the program. All right, let's move on to Saints and the Broncos. Drew Brees, he leads the league right now in passing yards per game, but we might see more of Mark Ingram and Tim Hightower because we've been seeing the Broncos' run defense get gashed. So, Greg, what do you expect?
That's why this is not a good matchup for the Broncos right now. This is really a tough test going to New Orleans. It's been a ball control offense the last few weeks. We've talked about it here. Hightower, Ingram, they have the best numbers in short yardage of any team in the league because you can also throw it short with Drew Brees. So many options. No Derek Wolfe. No Aqib Talib in this game. I think this is a terrible matchup for Denver.
Yeah, I think it's been a little understated how great Drew Brees has been this year with guys like Matt Ryan playing well and Tom Brady. Drew Brees has been as good as ever, and I think without Aqib Talib, the Russian's been cut a little bit. The Broncos' pass defense, they're susceptible now.
Yeah, what bothers me, too, is if you're going to get caught into a shootout with the Saints, and the Broncos on offense cannot run the ball right now. That's got to be driving Gary Kubiak nuts. And this is in New Orleans. We know the splits at home and away for the Saints. I like this matchup for New Orleans.
This isn't a Gary Kubiak team that you have to throw first every week, that you have to count on Trevor Siemian, who I think's been fine to go deep. Like, if you can't do it against the Saints, you can't do it against anyone.
Yeah, and Delvin Breaux, he's still not looking 100% either. So
yeah,
I'm taking the Saints in this one.
I am too. I thought we were going to be a lot of Broncos heat, but I'm going New Orleans.
Saints.
Wow, Saints across the board.
Whoa,
turned our
down.
backs on the Broncos.
Okay, how about the Kansas City Chiefs and the Carolina Panthers? The Chiefs are looking for their 5th straight win in this. They're going to have Alex Smith back. And the Carolina Panthers, they've just won back-to-back games, and their defense is looking a little bit better, too, in these back-to-back games. So, Wes, what are you looking for?
You mentioned the Panthers' defense. They have as many sacks the past 2 weeks as they had the first 6 weeks of the season. They're starting to heat up, and the Chiefs are going to be probably without Jeremy Maclin, who is by far the best receiver. I think Panthers in a home game, I'll take them.
I do like that Spencer Ware sounds like he's going to be back, and so you get your foundational running back. This Chiefs team is not turning the ball over, and they're the team that nobody talks about week after week in the AFC. They just continue to win regular season games.
I think if you're the Panthers, you're excited about K'Wan Short and Charles Johnson looking like the Super Bowl form, but their offensive line, which has been a problem all season, was not good last week. I mean, they should have lost that game against the Rams because of the offensive line. Now you go against Dee Ford. We'll see if Justin Houston comes back. Not an easy matchup.
Dee Ford has been playing a lot better than usual, too.
He's been unbelievable.
All right, so in this game, I'm taking the Chiefs.
I'm going Panthers. It's at home. Their season's on the line.
Panthers.
I'm going Panthers, too. I like that Colleen comes in here and just starts picking against us every game.
That's what happens. That's how I like it. All right, we have a little bit more time for one more game, an AFC South rivalry game. You have the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. So the Texans are 5-3 right now, and they're trying to keep the lead in their division. What are you guys looking for in this?
Well, I mean, I'm going to go Texans in this. I think this is one of the most uninspiring what will be 6-3 teams in my NFL memory.
It's rare that you see a matchup where Brock Osweiler is clearly the better quarterback. This is it. I will pick against the Jaguars every week until Blake Bortles is benched. He's broken.
I think the Texans will win this game, but Chris Ivory, maybe he has another big game this week. Who knows?
They have a chance because of that, but I know Bortles has struggled. Let's see something out of Malik Jackson. Let's make some plays, Dante Fowler. This Jaguars defense should win some plays on its own. I'm taking the Texans.
All right, those are our picks. You guys can check out the podcast 3 times a week on NFL.com and iTunes. Thanks, guys. Sitting at 500 on the season, Green Bay is just one game out of the NFC North lead. Coming up next on NFL Pick'em, DJ and Bucky will pick if the Pack will prevail this weekend.
Welcome back to NFL Pick'em. If you like what you've been hearing so far, there's plenty more of it. You can listen to DDFP, ATN, and Move the Sticks on NFL.com/podcast, iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. Meanwhile, if you want to see us, and come on, who wouldn't want to see us? You can watch our shows at NFL.com, NFL Now, and on YouTube. There are plenty of options to enjoy our podcasts. And Buck, the games we're looking at right now, these feature some teams that I would label underachieving. I think high expectations at the beginning of the season. Those expectations haven't been met.
You're always disappointed when you stumble out the gate, but the good thing is if you can get to the midway point, reset, recalibrate your team, and maybe get hot going down the stretch, you can sneak into the playoffs. Some of these teams we'll discuss will have an opportunity to get into the tournament.
Yeah, you like to get on a 3, 4, maybe a 5-game run here, but it starts with that first one. All right, Bears and Bucks. Interesting matchup to me. A Buccaneers team that's been struggling a little bit. A Bears team that's been inconsistent but showing us some flashes. The matchup, I think the run game of the Bears against a very athletic group of linebackers in Tampa.
Yeah, I think Mike Smith has a nice set of linebackers. They got to make sure that they rally to the ball. The big thing for the Buccaneers is to be able to set the edge, dictate the terms, and not let Howard get on track, because then you can force the game onto Jay Cutler and make him be a one-dimensional player.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to watch. Bucky, who do you like in this game? Bears, Bucks?
You know, I'm going to go with the Bears. I think the Bears have shown signs of life. Leonard Floyd has done a good job on defense, and I think the running game will finally get on track. I'm going to go with Chicago in this one.
I'm going to go with those athletic linebackers in Tampa. I think you see Jameis Winston have a turnover-free game, and that defense gets the job done against the run. All right, Packers, Titans, Buck, and this one, the matchup I'm looking forward to. Aaron Rodgers, can he get rolling going up against the Titans defense?
You know, Dick LeBeau's defense is always challenging. A lot of zone blitz schemes, things that are complex. It makes it tough for the offensive line. Can Aaron get those guys right?
All right, let's look at the tape here of Aaron Rodgers. And what I've seen, Buck, is interesting how teams are defending him, and we'll see if this gets picked up in the next game. I want you to watch Gathers right here. He's just going to spy Aaron Rodgers. You don't think about Aaron Rodgers being a guy you spy, but they're not going to allow him to climb up in the pocket and get comfortable moving around. Now you can do it with different guys. You're going to see it here. We're not going to use 26. We're going to use 93 right here. Look at him just hang at the line of scrimmage, hang, and you end up getting an interception. So they're not allowing him to climb up and make those impact plays.
And I think Tennessee will take a different approach. They still will come after Aaron Rodgers. They'll find a way to do it in a different fashion. Here we see a little 5-man blitz. Wesley Woodard comes through the B gap and gets a sack. But the guy that you really have to keep an eye on if you're the Green Bay Packers is Jarrell Casey. Here he's just winning his one-on-one matchup. The swim move, gets inside, makes a sack. The thing about the Green Bay Packers is they don't have a running game, so you can focus all your efforts on slowing down Aaron Rodgers. The best way to slow down the quarterback is to knock him around. I believe the Tennessee Titans will come to the game intent on keeping him off his spot.
So we've given the playbook of how the Titans can get this done, Bucky, but now we got to pick the game. Do we really believe they'll do it?
No, I don't think they can get it done. I know the Packers will view this as a must-win game. I believe the Packers get this done.
Yeah, I'm with you on there. So we laid out the game plan for how to do it.
We laid it out. We can give them the game plan. We're going to see if they can execute.
Yeah, I don't know if they can execute it either. I'm going to go with the Packers as well. All right, Dolphins, Chargers. This is my sneaky good game of the week.
Oh, I don't think it's sneaky good. I think this is a fantastic matchup. Two teams that are playing well, two teams that are hot. They have two young running backs that are beginning to kind of make their way in the league.
All right, jump in on the first one here, Jay Ajayi, and how he's got rolling.
Look, Jay Ajayi is a guy that's having a breakout season. He's had back-to-back 200-yard games, didn't necessarily get to that level the following week. But now what we're seeing is a big physical running back, a guy that is the feature back, and they're giving him plenty of carries. Here we're going to see him on a stretch play, getting to the edge. That offensive line that you raved about in recent weeks, they're getting hats on hats, allowing them to have an easy crease. He gets to the second level, dances into the end zone. These are the kind of plays that he's been able to give them. Jay Ajayi is also a nice cutback runner. Here we're going to see a little zone read play. Ryan Tannehill can pull it. It's just enough to keep the defensive end from attacking the running back. Gets to the second level, finishes in a physical fashion. The identity of the Miami Dolphins would be a physical run game. Jay Ajayi is thriving in that approach.
Well, let's look here on the other side here with Gordon. And you see a 5-on-5 matchup, Bucky. That's good for basketball season. It's not good for a defense. Not a crowded box. He takes advantage of it. Now I want to watch what he has in front of him with three lead blockers, essentially, here. Watch. One kick out right here by the fullback, Watt. You're going to see Franklin pull around, make his block. And now you're going to see the tight end come across the formation, Hunter Henry, and pick up his. That is a beautiful scenario there for a talented running back. All right, Buck, these are the two running backs that we see in this game. Both need to be effective and have a big-time ball game for their team to win. It's in San Diego, though. Is that the difference?
I think that is the difference. Playing at home, the San Diego Chargers have some momentum coming off a nice win last week. I think they go and get another win against the Miami Dolphins, even though the Dolphins are playing tough.
All right, I'm with you on that. I think the Chargers end up getting a close, hard-fought game. They end up getting it done. All right, Niners, Cardinals, Buck. We've got Kaepernick. We've got a Cardinals secondary. What do you think in this one?
Well, I think the Cardinals secondary has an advantage. I don't believe there's a threat on the outside that really can push somebody down the field to really make them get off the spot. I believe they're going to keep Kaepernick in the pocket. None of those receivers can uncover. I'm going to Cardinals in this game.
Yeah, I like the Cardinals in this game as well. I think they're secondary. I think they get their hands on some footballs. Kaepernick has locked on targets. He hasn't been consistent, moving his eyes and moving defenders. If you lock on against this secondary, they're going to make you pay. They're going to get their hands on the ball.
Yeah, I think they make them pay this week. I think the Niners go down.
All right, we both like the Cardinals. There are some underachieving teams we've just discussed. Can they get on track? We'll find out this week.
Good stuff from Daniel Jeremiah and this guy, Bucky Brooks. Rosenthal picking up where they leave off. Let's talk about those teams on the outside looking in. Give me one team that right now is not in the playoffs that will wind up in there come January.
How about the New Orleans Saints? Best offense they've had in 5 years. That's enough in a lousy NFC.
You know what? I tout Greg Rosenthal. A couple of weeks ago, he was on this Saints thing before everybody else was. I'll go with the Packers. When it all settles, that's going to be the team that wins the NFC North. Bucky, how say you?
Keep an eye on the Detroit Lions. Matt Stafford is playing at an MVP level. The defense is beginning to get healthy. If they can find a little semblance of a running game, they can be a dangerous team down the stretch.
Yeah, slog in both divisional Norths of the second half of the season. Will be fun to watch. Thanks for joining us this week. We'll talk to you before Week 11 to let you know who's going to win all those games. In the meantime, for Rosenthal and Brooks, been a thin slice of heaven.